Krishna. Shri Gaurahari Das. Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. With this little bit of japa. Hare Krishna. A bit of warm up for Gaurahari Das's class. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, otherwise known as Krishna, Krishna. Escaping the matrix. Krishna, Hare Krishna by mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's very simple. You look less and less at the goings on in the world with looking for some solution from them and not being distracted by them and seeing them from what they are. The principalities and the energies of the material universe. They're described in the Vedas, in Bhagavatam, in Krishna consciousness, as the modes of nature. And Jesus was sharing about them, the principalities of the world who control these modes of nature. Krishna. So the devotees, they engage in this Maha mantra as opposed to the Maya mantra, which is politics and the talks and the vibration in the world, which keeps the living entities in that cycle of samsara wheel, which the American Indians describe as the fly caught in the spider's web. So when we know the spider, the maker of the web, that's Gaurahari Das, man. It's amazing. It's amazing grace. I'm so grateful to have met Gaurahari Das and have him as my spiritual master and friend. Dear in both instances. Dear. And then you get the near to Krishna. And not west. We ain't west of Krishna, man. We're not west of Krishna, man. We've got to get close up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gaurahari Das, and thank you to the wonderful devotees for coming along. Yeah, it's really fantastic. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, dog, car, phone. Come on. Come here. Good boy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm just amazed at the painting that Krishna paints every day. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So what to say of the spiritual world and how do we get to know that? Well, that's what Gaurahari Das is showing the devotees here, the devotees who become friends, here in this Sangha. How we become attracted to the spiritual world is to get to know the activities that are going on in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada didn't reveal, to the devotees. Remember, there was a devotee who asked him what was going on in Vrindavan. He said a lot of nonsense. You won't understand, But anyway, we're throwing the doors open, Gaurahari Das is, and giving us that ability too to appreciate what's going on in the spiritual world. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Because all these beautiful pastimes, they're so amazing. But we never come to the end of them. That's what you see going on here. There's chanting of the name and also the pastimes. And our part in those pastimes. I always like how Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes our position as particles of Krishna. Like the drop of the ocean and the ocean. They're symbiotic, they're together. It's just these coverings. Earth, air, fire, water, our conditionings, our mind, body, all those things are temporary. All those elements are temporary, but the soul is eternal. And described as Prabhupada, description is it's smaller than the tip of a piece of hair. It's smaller than that, man. No wonder we get so covered and we come into this false ego, false identification with this body. Until what I've really ascertained from being with Gaurahari Das these 8 years is, until we develop spiritual attraction, spiritual emotions for the spiritual personality that's Chaitanya and the devotees, which starts with the devotees here, as well as the eternal devotees that live forever in their words. Until we get that attraction, they're just stumbling around in this Maya. It's like a fog. You ever see them old 1950s films of London? 60s, 1950s, well, pre that as well. It's very foggy, it's very misty. It's like going on the moors down in the south of England, Devon and Cornwall down there. It's really misty. You kind of see in front of your face. You need a compass. Otherwise you'd get lost on those moors. And they used to do a lot of mining there, so you're fucked if you ain't got a compass. And that's what Gaurahari Das is giving. It's like you go to a major city in the world and you try and negotiate the metro. I went on the metro in India once. That was an experience. Yeah, I met this young lady and she took me on the metro. It's fun, man. Yeah, but without the guide, people have this misconception that we don't make judgments on the spiritual path, which is a complete and absolute illusion. If you need some major building work doing, you don't make a judgment, you just get anybody to do it, see what happens. So it's the same in spiritual life. We make a judgment, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just conditioning that people have gotten into this conception, you don't judge. Of course we're making judgments. Every single thing we do in this world, in our lives, we're making a judgment for ourselves and those around us. And certainly we do in spiritual life. It's just not you go and buy a car and you don't make a judgment. Many of the devotees here, including Gaurahari Das and many say Janaki Devi, have long time experience in the religious communities. We're here to help them. People misunderstand. It's our greatest pleasure to share this. This is a spiritual science. This works if you work it. People in this Sangha not only just transcended the samsara, they're coming into their eternal spiritual relationships, which are described in Bhagavatam, our Bhagavatam, and also in other spiritual lineages. They reference higher states of consciousness and the symptoms. These symptoms are described and were shown when Chaitanya was here. Devotees became stunned. They're speechless. Like what you see in Freddie. Freddie's no fool. He read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita for 25 years. Very sincere devotee. He gave himself, I'm sure he was following Srila Prabhupada's instruction, read my books for 2 hours a day. And he was doing that. But he didn't get that spiritual awakening until we meet the devotee, the shaman. That's what happened to me when I met Gaurahari Das, man. I'd been to India several times and listened to many persons, in ISKCON, in different places, in the UK and in India, same as Ammon. But Gaurahari Das is a very special devotee. He's very special to Gaurahari. And that's why this is so effective. Rab Juan, hey, thank you for coming along. I wanted to share with you, Rab Juan, if you can understand. I'm not sure how much you understand English, but Aman, Rab Juan's a devotee who's been coming along our Sangha, and I was thinking maybe you could send him a friend request, because Aman's actually over in India at the moment. I think I recall that you don't speak so much English, but I think Aman, he speaks Punjabi, and he could perhaps, you could maybe send each other friend requests. Yeah, thank you, Rabjuan. Yeah, so if you're maybe in the same vicinity as Aman, whilst he's there, you could hook up. Yeah, thank you, Aman. Yeah, thanks, Aman. Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, the way it's been set up, the way Krishna set it up, is it's the devotee that's dear to him. Yeah, this is why what you see going on in here, in this Sangha, is truly phenomenal. As Aruna was sharing, she was realizing that this is the Chaitanya Lila in effect, and it has to be. It has to be. It has to be the same potency and Lila in effect again, and it certainly is. It's such a simple, beautiful path, but I had no idea of the simplicity. I had no idea of this path until, I met Gaurahari Das. He straightens us out. Our misconceptions that we've all picked up on the path. And I really love what Gaurahari Das sharing in the recent class. Yeah, we're renouncing the illusion. See, in Krishna consciousness, everybody's misunderstanding what renunciation is. They think it's diet or to do with sex life. They think these things. I mean, there's some benefits in the mode of goodness and a balance in our lives, but the renunciation that I understand from listening to Gaurahari Das these wonderful 8 years is we renounce the illusion. We don't have faith in it. We have no faith in that. It's very much like, it's exactly the same as when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here. He had a devotee, Murari, who was going to all these different sanghas, these different places, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu berated him. Said, you go to all these different places, and for why you don't stand up for what I came here to bring, which is back to the Garden of Vrindavan, a consciousness that people can very easily attain here. People have a misunderstanding it's about being an intellectual, an academic, going to Harvard, Cambridge, or being university educated. No, Bhakti is the educator. Bhakti means devotion. We get that from somebody who's a Bhakta, a Prema Bhakta. I got that desire to taste this, to experience this, which very quickly happened, hey Aman. When we began listening to Gaurahari Das now 8 years ago, we both began crying, and these symptoms awoke within us. Crying is a symptom described in Nectar of Devotion by Srila Prabhupada as the beginning of our spiritual life. And so we go on hearing. A devotee never stops hearing. It's a devotee's natural position to want to hear from their spiritual master and the devotees, and to have picnics. And that's what we're doing. We're having a picnic every day on social media, villages before the world. But people are so tuned in to this picnic eating here, but it's actually here. Everyone is actually eating here in respect that they're being influenced by the sound vibrations of the world, of the principalities, the modes of nature, and it's affecting people. I remember when I worked on the shop floor in a factory, you get very accustomed to the noise of the machinery. Yeah, you just get accustomed to that noise. And I remember going outside in the car park outside the factory one day, and I felt, oh, something's changed. And it took me a while to realise, oh yeah, there's no noise out here. I'm not next to that machinery. We get used to this noise. It's just a noise. The devotee, the living entity, all of us are crying out to hear spiritual sound vibration. The word is eternal. Remember Jesus shared that? Yeah. Unfortunately, people think that they don't understand that it's generic. Even though Jesus shared, all men must do what I've done. You know, they make it about one person, one very special person. But actually it's a touchstone effect. Radha Devi Dasi. Yeah, Hare Krishna, man. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gaurahari Das, Gaurahari Das, Gaurahari Gaurahari Das, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So behind me there is that's the Brecons, the Brecon mountains somewhere over there behind those chemtrail clouds. Yeah, praising Guru. Songs of praise. Shuddha songs. Shuddha Bhakti songs of praise. Helps you raise up the pole. Remember Jesus? All men must rise up the pole. Yeah. What an amazing Guru we have. Here Amma Narayan's talking my language. It's amazing. We're in Vrindavan grazing. The cows, what do? They graze. Grazing. Amazing grazing, how sweet the grass. Mary Sachi, marijuana, Mary Sachi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare. I got two dogs. Hey Loki boy, we got Loki boy dog. And we got this dog on bone. We got two dogs. And we got the log floating in outer space. Remember Srila Prabhupada said, when a devotee asked, hey, what's a real devotee of Krishna? What are they like? And Srila Prabhupada said, finding a real devotee of Krishna is like finding a log floating in outer space. Now we've got a whole woodyard in outer space. We've got Lalita Ganga, we've got Amma Narayan Das, we've got Moda Mongo, we've got Lalita Madhava, we've got Janaki Devi Dasi. We've got so many lovely logs floating in outer space. I think Radha Devi's a log in progress. You can be a log in outer space. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, let the dogs out! Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna. Whereabouts you are, Aman? Whereabouts you is in India now, my friend? If you can answer, don't worry. Oh, you seem to be. Hare Gora, Hare Gora. Okay, my friends, the rain is coming down. I don't want to get the phone unnecessarily wet. So, hey, thank you all for coming along. Aman, thank you for connecting with Rabjawan. Yeah, you'll be able to help. He'll be able to help you more than what can Rabjawan. Yeah, thank you for your interest in our Sangha. Hey, Fanny, Radha Devi. Thank you all for coming along. Rajiv! You're right there, my friend, Rajiv. High fives, man. Good to see you, Rajiv. It's been really nice to see you coming into the classes of Gaurahari Das too, man. Hey, keep doing more of that, my friend. You know, the devotees, they want to see you. No, so I like to see the devotees. I'd like to see more of our dear post lady. And our dear taxi driver too. Alright, man. Gaurahari Das. Top drawer, man. Top of the top drawer. From me and Loki. Hare Krishna.